Ayun na, Mayor.
Magandang araw, Mayor and Hannah. Welcome back. It's so good to see both of you again. After 4 months, I think, really 4 months, Mayor, that maraming nangyari. We gave way to the elections. Nag-break tayo. Now we're back for season 2 for Basta de Bueno kasi nga marami din tayong mga followers na nagtatanong kung kailan tayo babalik. So this is it, Pilipinas, no? But before we go sa discussions natin, Mayor, of course, gusto namin mo, Mayor, kamusta kayo? Kamusta ka? Especially after the elections, Mayor.
Ako, okay lang. I'm happy with the results that we got in the previous elections. So I think the Navaweños clearly stated who they want as their elected officials. So we won by an extraordinarily large margin. So, pasalamat ako sa mga tiwala ng Navaweño sa datay ko who ran as mayor in this city and also me as the vice mayor. So, these elections, walang nakapasok na ibang partido dito sa Davao other than the hupong taong lungsod. So, this is a momentous victory for Davao City, and I'm proud of the political party. I think they have done their part. They have served Davaoenos really well. So as you can see, nakuha na to tanan ang posisyon diri sa Davao City, from the mayor to the vice mayor, 3 congressmen, and how many councilors do we have? 24? 24? Yes. So, thank you very much for all the trust that you gave us in the elections.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations. And I think I just like to circle back dito sa doon sa sinabi mo, Mayor, no, in your inaugural speech. And I think nag-trend niya ito na line when you said that this election has shown that money did not win. Clearly, principles did. And I think that's a very good point, Mayor, that Davaoenos, pinakita talaga natin na it's the week of the people talaga ang susunod. And sabi mo, Mayor, I think this is the first time na wala opposition na nakapasok. Although, may mga nagsasabi, Mayor, na, you know, if it's unhealthy daw kasi wala nang check and balance, but you always explained also na even tayo na nung galing sa City Council na it has always been an open platform for deliberation and discussion kahit pa may mga, you know, magkakampe or kalakad. Policies na being debated openly. So for Mayor, doon lang sa sobrang hingin ko dito emphasis mo, Mayor, doon sa sinabi mo na money did not win, but principles did.
No, let me explain first on the comments about walang opposition, that it's not healthy. But, you know, it is still, we still went through the democratic process. Ibig sabihin nun, yun yung gusto ng tao. So, the people may have thought na this is a healthy government that we have. So that's why, yun ang nilagay nila, ang political party natin, ang nilagay nila sa Davao City. And to us, we also have left-leaning people or elected officials within the city council. And I would like to point out also, Congressman Uhab is a very active, is a very progressive congressman. And also, I would like to think of myself as the same caliber. We do not think of ourselves as conservatives. Gusto namin na we welcome criticism. nakikinig kami sa mga tao. We are politicians and we are public servants. So it is our job if kunwari may narinig kaming reklamo o mga hindi gusto ng tao, inaasikaso namin yun. Because we are only a few people that's running government or, elected nilagay ng mga tao para to do our job. So ultimately, this is not about securing our position, but it's what we can deliver to the people, and the people chose na. Pinili yun ng tao eh. So hindi ko I would not say na it's about us, but it's about the people of Davao.
Clearly, that's what can inspire during the election set.
Yeah, and given that we were against the administration during the midterm elections. Kasi yung mga kalaban na pinatakbo nila, they funded them. Yung ayuda na ginamit nila since the filing of candidacy, na-start na sila up until the election day. They've been shelling out money and the resources of the government, and yet the people of Davao did not believe them. It's all about governance. It's not about na kung ano yung pwede mong ibigay. You cannot buy. You cannot buy governance. It has to be performed. It has to be performed. Pag nandiyan ka sa opisina, do your job, you govern, and listen to the people, and make it happen. So, yun ang nangyari dito sa Davao. So, yung ilang bilyon na binangsakrito ng administration, mga Davaoenyo, you cannot do this to us. We are educated people. And ang pundasyon na tinayo or hinukay para nilagay na pundasyon, this came from former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, who is now detained in the ICC because of political persecution. Hindi niyo ito basta-basta na lang na titibag ba na matumba. Hindi niyo matutumba to ng ganito lang. Because the people of Davao trusted him because of how he performed in this city. And this, kami, yung mga konsehal, mga congressman, me, as the vice mayor now, kami yung mga tao niya that is continuing what he has done, and we are continuing his aspirations and ambitions not only for the chosen few, but for all Davaoenos.
I would totally agree, Mayor. And yun nga, even BRD being detained there, it was not people to campaign, but people voted for him with an overwhelming mandate. 600,000 votes compared to 80,000 sa kanyang close right that he lost. So yeah, the very, very good and inspiring point there that you mentioned. No? Hannah, and everything you'd like to add there?
As you said, Mayor, it's Harvey, it's the people have spoken at the end, the people have spoken, and you are realized talaga at the end of the election that you cannot easily break down the empire built on trust and good governance. So, kasi yun din talaga yung nakita ng mga tao sa Davao. So, you cannot easily change that because it's what we experience. And the elections speaks for itself.
And mind you, Mayor, na-mention mo, Mayor, that this success, actually, hindi lang sa Davao City because it also happened in key cities across the country, in Cebu and Manila also. So, ano tingin mo dyan, Mayor? Is it really the people really parang finally standing up?
I think, let's take Cebu province as an example. Because nung panahon, only mainstream media can make or break a politician. How they angle, how they present these politicians, how much they pay the mainstream media to, promote them. But now we have social media. So, ang mga tao ngayon are more informed. They know what's happening and they know what this administration is doing. And maybe they know na this administration has an ulterior motive for the 2028 elections. And given that they have not, maybe they have not performed well, that is why the people chose our representative for the governorship in Cebu province, who is from PDP Laban. So, yun ang nangyari. So, alam ng mga tao that yung ayuda nyo and all your PR press releases about what you're doing, and they do not believe all of those. And that is why isa po kita mga Pilipino, we are Southeast Asians and we're known to be clannish. Mga tripo tayo kanina itong panahon eh. So, ang Kabisayaan manggod, kung ba nagbisaya, pareho nag-Ilocano, uban Ilocano, sasama sa Ilocano, ang Ilonggo, sasama sa Ilonggo. And I think what they were trying to do, that's why former Governor Gwen Garcia failed in these elections, in the previous elections. Kaya, Bisaya ka nang, hubad na bibuntra, ring mo nanda pa. Okay lang. If there, kung walay quarren ba, if everything is peaceful. But I think the administration only tried to divide the Visayas, Central Visayas for that matter. So ito si Gwen, sumama doon, and of course, not the PDP, they try to divide us. That's why kung ako if you would allow me to give you advice, do not let politics divide us. Because wala sa mga Bisaya, tayong mga Bisaya, we are one and the same. And not only that, we should be cooperating with the other portions of the country who are ethnically different, like the Ilonggos, Tagalog, na Ilocano, because we are one nation. Lahat tayo, we should contribute to nation building. So, that is the only way. Cooperation and working together can build a country. Hindi na. So, ngayon, tapos na yung election, let's forget all about this. Tapos na yan, we go back to our normal, yung usual natin na buhay, contribute in your own way. In your own way, you pay taxes, but unfortunately, may issue tayo dyan sa pera na pinabayad natin sa gobyerno, which pag-uusapan natin later on in this. But at the end of the day, we want a better future, not only for us, but most especially for our kids and our kids. So we should be united, and kailangan magtulungan tayo.
Tama. Thank you, Mayor. And I think I agree with you, Mayor. No? Tatapos na yung election, we leave all the discussions, the learnings we take from that election, but all the issues there sa elections, we get doon sa puno sa election. But there are things, Mayor, na natapos na lang ng election, issues na hindi dapat natin malimutan, Mayor. Ito na nga yung pag-uusapan natin for this podcast. Because for 4 months after the last episode natin, we have issues. There were issues na we raised in this platform na until now, no, nakalipas na lang yung election, remain unanswered, and wala pa ding accountability. For example, Mayor, the petitions on the GA 2025, the PhilHealth fund transfer, and the Maharlika fund application also, all these, nandun sa Supreme Court, pinabisaman prior to the elections. But I think, nalimutan, Mayor, dahil kasi hingay nung election. But I think it's about time na we need to look at these issues again, because the latest ito, Mayor, the oral arguments of the petition sa Supreme Court were postponed indefinitely.
Yeah, they're always moving it. That only means, ibig sabihin nun, wala silang maisasagot. They cannot answer the issue. Kaya lagi nilang pinopostpone yung moral arguments. So, the only way para malaman ng mga tao if you're really trustworthy, you answer the courts. Sagutin niyo yung problema sa GA, sagutin niyo yung problema sa PhilHealth, then maybe yung mga tao will trust this government again. But until then, why would we trust you? Diba? All you were doing for the past 3 years was politicking through the ayuda. You siphoned all the resources of the government, the money, and even the workforce of the government to divide the country, to pursue your political ambitions. Ito na gobyerno. So, I suggest, sagutin nyo na lang ng diretso yung mga tinatanong yung mga na nasa porte, no?
In connection to that, Mayor, you also mentioned kay Ayuda during the elections. So, during the elections, Mayor, a lot of people mentioned was reported na maraming reports or cases were filed for the Ayuda na kinapit sa election. So, some people said that these were both by this guy's Ayuda.
Yes,
And
I've been telling everybody, sinasabi ko na yan before pa nagsimula ang elections, this podcast, na it's indirect vote polling. But you know, Filipinos, we may be poor, but we're not dumb people, right? Kasi akala kasi itong mga nasa taas, that you can just, I think, pagtingin nila sa mga tao, aso. You just give them food and they will eat it outright. Diba? Kasi pagkain na yun. No. We are human beings and we are Filipinos and we are proud of our country. And we want our country na bumanda. Diba? We want our country to progress. We want to move forward. And problema, the method of this government is very counterproductive to sa gusto nating makamit na gobyerno in the future. Because it's a band-aid solution, actually. Kasi, ang ginawa ng gobyerno, they took advantage of yung problema ng tao sa pera. They took advantage of that. Kaya, tingin nila, if they give them money or ayuda, the people will favor them, but the Filipinos know it's not the solution. The solution is employment, no corruption in government, and properly appropriate money that should go back to the people in forms of programs and projects, especially infrastructure. So the people, can move around freely and wala pa tayo dyan sa business order, move around freely to stimulate the economy. Make it easy for people na makakilos para may panginabuhi sa lalo.
Hanap buhay.
May hanap buhay. So, kung hindi ka gagawa ng tulay, if you keep on destroying roads and building them again just to give contracts to people that you favor, it's going to make the lives of Filipinos uncomfortable and very hard to navigate through life. Why not just make the book, gawa na lang kayo ng road, then make it sturdy and indestructible so that you can move on to other projects, especially in the rurals, kung saan naghihirap yung mga tao, sumagi na sirain yan. Gawin niyo para makakilos lahat ng tao, so para may hanap buhay nga. So everybody will earn may bugas sa ano.
Yes, sir.
May bigas sa lamesa, may bigas panglunag kung kiluto nimo para naikaunon ang tao. So do not give the Filipinos money because after all, they will just buy a little ng mana nila and then there are other expenses that they have to worry about like for their health and education. Diba? So, I think this is the most inefficient administration that I have ever seen in my goddamn life.
I mean, it all goes back to this ito nga, to sa pila to sa mga questionable use of money and budget. Yung nga, people will not stop asking questions until we get answers, and clarity on these petitions. Puniga, pinapag transfer to sa Maharlika. So,
Okay.
let's
Let's put this in a logical way. Gamita ka tong math. Sa inyong mga probinsya, bayaran kayo na 10,000 for 3 years to get the book. Hanggang saan man yan? Kung magkasakit ka, magkano ang basic, kano ang tuition ng anak mo, magkano yung mga pabayaran ng grocery sa bahay. And that, you will exchange what? That's it. For 50,000, ipapalit mo yan sa 3 taon na magupo yung mga politiko dyan enjoying the luxuries and privileges that they have right now because they are in an elected position. That is what a centralized kind of government na Marcos is doing. This Marcos, right? Bongbong Marcos. And, may kasalanan din dyan ang Congress. Particularly, ito si Speaker Martin Romualdez. Because they are the ones who are responsible for the budget.
Yeah. What to do? Anyway, as you said, Mayor, we will continue to speak up and to ask questions, particularly on these topics, the GA, the PhilHealth, the Maharlika Fund, among many others, on budget allocation. But we trust the integrity of the Supreme Court and we pray and hope that soon these petitions will be heard. And sakto kami or itong mga parties involved must really answer the questions of the people. So, okay, we'll get back to those, Mayor, pag may updates na tayo moving forward. Ito, Mayor, balikan lang namin ni Hannah kasi next week, July 28th, maybe the 4th State Federation address of our beloved president will happen, Mayor. So, I'm not sure if you still have expectations nasasabihin niya sa SONA niya this year. Okay, next topic.
You think you can turn around this country in 2 years? You have done so much damage already. Wala na. Ubus na pera ng Pilipinas ngayon. And sige, let's say, magpapatayo ka ng maganda tulay. How long will that take? And not only that, let's take into account kung may pera pa ba paggawa ng mga infrastruktura. Tingin ko, during his SONA, you will be telling things that you will never do. Like with the previous SONAs that he did. Because all of the SONAs that he did, he never did. never fulfilled all of those. Sinabi niya, baiti ang bukas. Asa naman ka nun? Asa na? Napratso. I do not know why we should, continue to tolerate this kind of administration. I think people, as your responsibility as citizens of this country, should voice out. Huwag kayong diigin because it's not something, it is wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
4 years, 3 years na, almost 4 years, we've suffered enough. Endured so much. But sakto kami, the pressure my parent pa because I think the national government keeps on borrowing. Magkano na, kung tama natin yun, 16.3 trillion to date. And then at some point, Mayor, it's at some point, we became the highest selling. No, ito.
We became the world's largest seller of gold in the first half of 2024. We won't talk about
largest seller of gold this half of
2024
2024.
with 24.95 tons, which decreased our gold in 15.69%.
So don't tell me you're gonna use that money again to buy people through ayuda. It's not gonna work anymore. Mulat na ang mga tao, you have to know this. Like, kung gusto mo, bumaba ka na presidente na, na wala kang problema, work! Magtrabaho ka. Listen to the people, tanungin mo anong problema, ayusin mo. Ayaw, huwag ka pumunta na mga may nasunog, tapos pupunta mo doon, makipicture it, turo-turo mo na para kang taga-BFP. Or pumunta ka ng baka, para kang nagtrabaho sa disaster. Because we all know, you do not know anything. Sige na lang photo ops. That's all you do. It's photo ops. It's PR. Because you have ABS-CBN, you have GNT, you have TV4. You have all the mainstream media here. But you cannot, you cannot change the reality on the ground with what's happening with the people.
Tama. Among many other things, Mayor, I think, ito na Mayor natin.
Sana ang mga picture mo na pinapagitan mo, it does not put food on the table. Mahal ang mga pilihin ngayon. I do not know why. An economist can explain it, and I'm sure they know why. And I won't speculate. That's because of corruption. Yeah, yung gaan nyo, pati yung ano nyo. Pilihan nyo. That's a major contributor to poverty. And you're not properly allocating the people's money.
Ayun na. Mayor, as you mentioned, there are many issues, maraming mga problema na dapat sagutin, ayusin, where it seems every now and then, ang daming diversionary practices, Mayor. Quote and quote, na nalilimutan ng tao minsan yung ano dapat akin ang usapan. Do you agree with that, Mayor?
Oh, they are weaponizing government right now. So if you talk about issues, kung nga rin, sasalita ka, asan yung Philip, or ito si Teresa Cobdeveros, may lumabas na issue. The weaponized government, kakasuhan kanila to, silence you. Patatahimikin ka nila, tatakutin ka nila, Akala nila ginawa yan dito sa Davao. So, you cannot play fair. You have all the power and the influence that you have right now as an administration. And yet, these are the only things that you can do rather than fix, the problem. Pag ayaw ninyo sinasabi ng tao, kahit totoo naman, kakasuhan nyo. Support kasi kayo. Yan talaga yan. Just play fair. Wala naman kami hinihingi na ito Reggie Romualdez, malang lumalaban. It's either, I do not know what happens in the program, but maybe just another speculation, baka takot ka pag may tumakbo against you, matatalo ka. You're not even relevant, actually. You are a nobody. I've always said that since nagsimula kong lahat. Sakit na.
But that's the reality. Truth hurts.
Gusto mo makita ka, tumakbo ka na may kalabat ka? Ang sabi tawag na sa Tagalog nga ng mudaog ka provide mo. Matig, panalo na walang dangal. Pakita ka naman na may kalaban ka. Na-disqualify mo lahat. Akot ka lang. That's the kind of person that you do not play fair. All you do, you're a very transactional administration, including you, the speaker, and all you do is negotiate to serve the interests of those who you negotiate with and for yourself. Simple.
Speaking of speaker, Anna, I think there's another brewing story there sa
The past hours house. So,
I also heard Toby Chapko wanted to be the speaker.
including them also.
Because it's Sporting Romualdez who's the speaker now. Who wants him? If you really, ask, these people in Congress, gusto ba talaga nila yung speaker na yan? Depende sa hatak.
Ay, ginagawa na sa na. We'll see. We'll see sa opening ng Congress.
Yeah, but kung mapalitan yung Romualdez na yan, I think it will be a much better country, slightly.
Ito na, Mayor, speaking of among the issues na pang-divert, tinatawag ng mga tao na diversionary tactic. Ito ang biglang pagsulpot ng issue ng mga Bisisabongeros Minor na ngayon pilit pang nililig to the drug war.
Okay, ang main platform with this on how they operate diversion through the media is to use the Duterte family. Mga dyan, si kapatid ko, impeachment, ito, ICC, war on drugs, yung na-detain yung tatay ko. War on drugs, that's not, like even genocide, it's war on drugs. So, why would anyone be, sino may ayaw niyan? You want us to be South America? Where cartels have tanks and high-powered, high-caliber firearms? At the President Rodrigo Duterte tried to stop that from happening. And to make, people para makapaglakad ng maayos sa gabi, mga tao dyan sa... Kami ang ginagamit na diversionary tactics so that they can continue to steal money. I think that would be labeled as, to maneuver the money of the people's taxes. So while mainstream media is consistently, nagpapakita na may problema, yung mga Duterte, ganon, why not try to investigahan nyo what they are doing behind the scenes? So far, parang kami naman ang naging problema dito sa Pilipinas for the past 3 years.
Bahas ka na papunta. So, numahit midix na.
So, this Remulla guy, is very cunning. I think he's very cunning. Lawyer siya. He's applying for the ombudsman. Kasi ano yan, I think they're having trouble with the impeachment case sa kay Inday Sara. So, this Remulla guy, pag maging ombudsman siya, he will use the position again to weaponize it against the vice president. Yan lang pa yan. Yan lang ang itindihin nyo. Tapos, yung Taalik sa Bungero, naging war on drugs na sa Bungero. War on drugs. You know, you really look stupid. Mga stupido talaga kayo sa totoo lang. Kung ano, sino ba direktor nyo? Sana ako na lang yung ginawa nyo kasi gumawa ng story. Mas magaling ako gumawa ng story. Mananalo pa kayo. Well, mga sa Bungero, naging drop war on drugs. Sa klase mo eh. Klase ito. Mas sumobra pa kayo sa sa Netflix. Sa totoo lang. You are ridiculous people. It's very ridiculous. Kung gagawa kayo ng story net tapos mahirapan na kayo manalo sa election, parang tama. At tama talaga kayo.
Japan. Tinapat. Ay, ba? Mayor, since you mentioned itong impeachment case niya ni DP Sara, gusto natin pag-usapan, Mayor, sa left.
Let me add,
Okay.
it will not only be the Vice President. Pag sinimulan ni Remulla yan, yung ombudsman niya na posisyon, pag natapos niya yan si Inday Sara, lahat ng mga politiko, mahawakan nila eh. Okay, sige. You will not, ayaw mong kumapti sa amin, may kaso ka. Okay. Let's say, for example, Cebu, Manila, anywhere else. Ang gagawin lang ng rebellion na yan, tatakutin nila ng kaso yung mga politiko na yan. So that they can control the entire country with the elected officials, especially those in the highest positions. Through, kita mo nga may heartbeat sensor. Masyado sila magaling gumawa ng story and they, really abuse the powers of government. Yan lang ang gagawin yan. Maniwala kayo sa akin. I am saying this right now. Pag naging ombudsman yan, Inday Sara, and next, then, they will make an example of Vice President Inday Sara. Kasi pag nagawa nila yan, we will file a case against her. Ang sunod niyan, tatakutin na kayo. Kasi Vice President nga, kinaya nila. So, huwag mo kaming utuin, Remulla.
Hey, Mayor, actually, we did see already, remember, the past yung mga, hindi pa ombudsman mayor, but there's already been suspensions.
Cases filed.
Mga suspension ng mga government officials na hindi pro-admin. So, I think there's a big possibility.
Yeah, because that's why they're weaponizing the government because they're trying to attempt an authoritarian regime. And they make it so subtle na bababa si Marcos, papalit sila ng kandidat, and then so on and so forth. They are attempting an authoritarian regime because si Marcos, he grew up as si Marcos during his teens, and he thinks it's his birthright na kanila tong Pilipinas. And along with these oligarchs and cronies. So they feel that the Philippines is theirs. Well, that was a long time ago. Ngayon, ang magawa din. Why are you still attacking these people educated? Wala na yan, di na yan. You will fail. You will not succeed with what you are doing. I am sure that Taalik. Pwede naman dyan lang sa bakod ng kung saan kanina Taalik mo. Sabi ko, wadramo. May pataan ni kung ako may tapon akong patay dyan na lang sa sauce. Di ba? Pataan ni.
We're not it.
Nakasako pag stop fooling us. Then war of drugs. Sa bungero na naging war of drugs ang pangit na palabas nyo. Ang pangit talaga. Kung sa Rotten Tomatoes yan, 15%. Kung sa IMDb, maybe IMDb is much more mainstream. 4. Wala. It's not a good movie. I'm telling you.
What's funny is, even mainstream media, some vendors of mainstream media finds it also ridiculous. Yung pag-connect nila sa Omero case and war on drug. Which tells us na talagang pangutik na sa tabi.
Yeah. You precisely. No, di ba? 3 minutes natin the response dyan. Nasa...
Mike na daw ang yung Mike. Mike
okay.
Lisa.
No. They're ginagawa lang nila ito lahat so that they can, move freely in maneuvering money because, corruption is very rampant in the Philippines. So, I think this would be the time na may maganda kayong nakita as an exhibit of ano ang pangit na gobyerno. So, tayo mga Pilipino, we should learn from this. Wala na yan. Hindi to Hollywood. We are talking about the lives of people. Yung mga tanga lang man din ang naniniwala dyan na may dissent talaga. You cannot, sa politika, tulad namin, mga Duterte, may ayaw din talaga dyan. So, be it. But, if they believe itong movie na ginagawa na mga, I think you are to the people.
Kung tinigay mo na ano kayo wala na ulit, ano ang movie mo?
Ha? Ano sa man eh? Sige, sama si Puswiri sila. Bro, tanaw ko, rambo-rambo hindi eh. Di ba? Hindi nauubusan ng bala ba? Tapos inuubos lakat.
Abangan ang susunod na kamanyaron na. We look forward to the next story back.
Okay. Ingalan mo lang eh. Ang psyche ba sa Pilipino ba? It's very intertwined with show business. That's why mainstream media got a hold of it for the longest time. And eto mga telenovela dyan, lumalabas ang mga probinsyano na yan. Embedded kasi sa isip ng tao na Pilipino na paggaling sa mainstream media, parang it has a subliminal effect sa mga tao. When they see something on the news that comes from mainstream media, they tie it to the things that they watch on television. So, kamo mga Pilipino, it's time for you to wake up. Yung palabas, yung mga telenovela, they're just, they have a director, it's all makeup, and this government is doing the same thing.
Hapham isip.
Kathang isip. Yes, work of fiction.
Another issue Mayor remarks that a trigot is propped us from is yung hair follicle drug test, which is mas lumalak na sa issue ngayon because of mga speculations about the first family's drug use, and especially yung kumabas na yun report about Paulo Tantoco's death, which came out saying that he died of cocaine. And watching to see about this, Mayor.
Yung hair follicle test, sinabi naman ni President Marcos na ayaw niya daw. But if you would agree to that, I suggest all politicians, including me, I would be second to him. No, ako'y sunod. Let's do it. Tayo lahat. Hair follicle test tayo. Ganun lang yan kasimple. Nasa presidente lang yan. Kung ayaw niya, then, I think he's okay with that. Then I think he's fine of having, a narco-infested country. So, What can we do? Nothing. But if the president is serious, do the hair follicle test, then it should be done publicly, transparently, and publicly para kita lahat ng tao that lahat ng executive, lahat ng elected officials, gawin lahat. Sino yung mag-positive dyan? Tanggal. Tapos.
No drama.
So simple. Very simple. And yet, guilty ka no.
Tatanong lang namin kami.
Natin sa bagay. Pero ayaw niya daw eh. Di okay lang. So, maybe, sige, bakit tayo mo gusto niya?
Mayor, let's go back to that. Dito na naman tayo sa impeachment case ni VP Sara. So what can you see, Mayor? It seems like there's a back and forth going on between the House and the Senate after the previous Senate decided to remand the articles of impeachment back to House of Representatives. Ano yung sasabi niyo?
I think you should just stop it. Eh. It's not one eh. Jitaw nga, dili mo si dit ko. Yeah, what it ipo. O walang progress sa sepex. Ba? So, ikiksabayin yan. Kasi ganito yan. The congressmen, gusto talaga nila na they will decide that. Kasi, ang congressman ng gold, wala tayong proyekto. Dili na taga-budget sa, Tagalog po. Hindi yan bigyan ng budget ng speaker o ni Romualdez. Ang mangyayari niya, they cannot, they do not have mobilization funds for the next elections. So that's why, mapipilitan talaga bumirma ng impeachment. Okay? Unlike the senators, it's mostly a popularity contest. And I think these people who are in the Senate, before pa sila naging senador, when they were in the previous, I don't know how they got there. Pero they can stand by themselves. But kaya din na yung sarili na they do not need the help of the speaker. Kaya of course, senador kami. Hindi mo naman pwede pangsabihin na ikaw speaker, Congress kayo, pangsabihin nyo kung anong gawin ng mga senador. It's a national position. It's a higher national position than the Congress. So yung mga tao na yan, may mga sariling view on the matter. So kung gusto nila ibalik nila para ibalik. You can do this like until the president's term will end. Gawin nila. Ulit-palitin niya lang. It will be, I think it will be the same thing unless Romualdez will negotiate the Senate at makakuha sila ng numbers. Pero tingin ko, ito naman, may pride itong mga senator. Hindi naman pwede, si Romualdez ka lang eh. Kaya nanalo ng senador, tapos pautusan mo ngayon ng senador. Yung mga congressman, kaya mo, kasi ikaw naghahawak ng budget nila. Yan yung totoo dyan. So ito naman mga congressman, siyempre, ayaw naman nila na wala sila budget. Kasi, anong ibigay nila sa mga tao nila? But, there are congressmen that are, actively attacking the family name. May extra bigay naman yun.
Noisy on the better.
So, ganun naman yan. Sige, ibalik to sa Senate. Tingnan natin. That's why, kaya nga, ito si Rebulla, inuulit-ulit niya, pinapasok niya yung ombudsman. Kasi tingin nila, mahihirapan talaga sila sa impeachment case when it comes to the Senate. So sa Rebulla, yung their option now is to use the ombudsman's office para Natirangit na naman si Inday Sara. For what? 125 million na confidential funds? Okay. So who approved, who signed the confidential funds? Ang presidente, di ba? Tama. So ngayon, did we ever ask anyone or did we ever ask Malacanang on how they spent 4 billion, more or less, around 4 billion worth of confidential funds? Diba?
That's billion.
Billion. As opposed to sa 125 million na lagi nilang bibibiin sa Vice President. So again, you really have a bad movie. So bad. No one believes it.
And yeah, speaking of the impeachment mayor, in the recent interview of Secretary Villanueva, he said that the impeachment court of the Senate may convene on August 4, I think, the first week of August, just after the Sona Sovereignty, kung ano mangyayari dito after bumuksan ulit yung Senate impeachment court regarding this. Even the Vice President, sabi nga BB Inday Sara na gusto niya na matuloy kasi para mag-present ka din yung masagot niya yung mga accusations, the articles of impeachment against her. So, yun, we look forward to what's next dito sa impeachment case na yun.
Sinabi siguro ng Vice President that because may sagot siya. Ang impeachment kasi na word, the impeachment word, it's a term to stitch this to the Vice President to make her look bad. That's it. Impeachment. So, without even really, going through the process and just, putting it out there using mainstream media, people, fake. That's their
Pangat.
Yeah, it's propaganda. Pag sinabi may impeachment case, may kasalanan ka. Wala pa namang resulta, wala pa naman, di ba naman pinag-usapan. Kaya, inuulit-ulit nila yung impeachment na word to, to condition the minds of people that Inday Sara may ginawang kalokohan. So what if I say, kung ang 125 million confidential funds is impeachable, so what about the 4 billion confidential funds of Marcos? Isn't that impeachable also? So why not Valentino, di ba sabihin, impeach natin si Marcos kasi may 4 billion siya. So let's put that on the red lights every day. President Marcos has 4 billion confidential funds. He needs to be impeached. There's an impeachment case where, di ba, papangit yung tingin na tao because it's media angling ang tawag dyan. That's media angling.
You're correct, Mayor. So, yun nga. Sa dinami-dami ng issues nitong na-discuss natin today, Mayor, from Puntaga to PhilHealth. And then
Okay. Let me help. Right. So, yung GAA. So, why do we impeach the president? Because of the GAA. Or why do we impeach the president because of the PhilHealth funds? Why don't we impeach the president because of the gold reserves that he sold I don't know where. Baka nilagay nila sa bangko niya yun.
bring it up.
Why don't we, if we talk about impeachment, there are so many issues. Maraming issue dito sa Pilipinas na pwedeng pag-usapan natin ng impeachment. So, why this particular vice president lang ang pinag-uusapan natin if we talk about impeachment? Diba? You're singling out the vice president na parang sinasabi nyo sa lahat, sa buong Pilipinas, ito lang yung politiko na may kasalanan. And that kada araw nilalabas ng mainstream media. So my suggestion to the Filipinos, it's okay if you really want to, patronize mainstream media, but uh, it's an establishment that can be influenced, and and they are there to influence you also, to para to kuan to ano yun yung bias nyo, to how do I say this? Para magkaroon ko ng bias yung tao on the issues. Yes, particularly yung impeachment.
Do you think, Mayor, since 2024, the first time you spoke up about these issues, up until this day, may nagbago ba sa administrasyon na to or simula pa? What do you think?
Wala pa. Kakatapos pa lang ng eleksyon so nabapakasyon pa yung tingin ko by January may mga bagong may part 2 na naman yan sila sa mga movie nila. Nagsisimula na yan, War on Drugs na kinuha nila sa paan. That's the direction eh. That's the direction. Pero in terms of yung Davao City. The DPWH is in charge of national highways. They're not doing a good job, especially in drainage. That's part of their responsibility also. So, I get the backlash because I'm the mayor, but the DPWH should have the budget for that. But it's not supposed to be all of them, but they should look into it because it's clearly, happening. Yung mga bahag na yan, the local government can only allocate what we have. But in a highly urbanized city, we should get like a little bit more of appropriation when it comes to these issues. So hindi nila inaayos yung trabaho nila, and it will only get worse. And maybe because kalaban kami ng administrasyon, they want things to get worse para bumalik sa akin yun. As a Duterte or me as the acting mayor is not performing well. Pero yun na nga. Nandyan naman sana yung GPWH. Nandyan naman sana yung LTF. DOTR for the city bus, which nila binigyan din ng budget. And andyan ang waste to energy project that the Japanese government has already allocated half of the cost. Tapos ayaw pa rin ayaw asikasuhin ng DESR. So, they just try to destroy the city. To put so that people, the Davaoenos will blame me as the acting mayor, and even before that, simula pa lang. Because personally, pag simula talaga this is for the Davaoenos, pag simula pa lang talaga ng third ko when I was mayor, pinotahan ko na yung DOTR. I talked to them, the Benito Davao bus, nag-okay, kaya na pumutayot si Marcos dito. He signed the loan agreement, and yet, hindi nila nilalagyan ng budget. Pati ang DENR, I think this was, 3 months into my term. Nung pagsimula ko na talaga ng term ko, I talked to DENR, they won't give it to us. Kasi ayaw nila na that we will succeed. Ayaw nila because they think kalaban yung tingin nila sa amin. And yet, during the elections, magkasama naman dapat talaga kayo. I think, uh, na, ano na talaga, ayaw lang nila na kalaban sa 2028, and that is Inday Sara Duterte. Because they want to stay in power. That's it. Disqualify. Tara, tingnan nyo. Maraming disqualificate. The next elections, maybe the barangay elections, maraming disqualification cases. Yeah, because they're trying to normalize these things. Gusto nila na, okay lang, na-disqualify ka because you do not agree with the government. Diba? So, like I said, they are attempting an authoritarian regime. So I hope the Filipinos will be enlightened. Kailangan tayo mabising na this will not be good for us. Yun ang walang check and balance. You have an ultra-right government which usually leads to an authoritarian regime like the Nazis, like the fascists, mga ganun. So, dyan yan papunta. So, in short, a dictatorship, magiging dictatorship lang katulad ng ginawa ng tatay ni Bongbong Marcos.
Balikan ko rin sa disqualification mayor, that's really a big to suspect to the will of the people. Imagine mo, nanalo ka na, binosto ka, manihis pa rin.
Si Joey Oy no?
The years of Johnny Oy and Benny Amate.
Oh. A perfect example. Ito nga, hindi na nila ginawang movie. Diretso na. Reality show. Diba? Nanalo si Joey Oy. We don't want Joey Oy to sit as a congressman. Let's put about it because atin yan Ito kasi mga congressman na dumidikit who's kissing, who's licking the boot of Romualdez and Marcos. Gusto niyan maging crony. Ang crony, can you show the definition of what a crony is? A crony is a close friend, often used in a disapproving way to describe someone who is favored by someone in a position of power, especially if that favoritism leads to unfair advantages or special treatment. It can also refer to a group of friends who are seen as being too close and potentially involved in questionable activities. Tagalogan na doon, So, gugulitin ko sa Tagalog, ang crony ay isang malapit na kaibigan, ngunit madalas itong ginagamit sa negatibo paraan upang ilarawan ng isang taong pinapaboran ng nasa kapangyarihan. Lalo na kung ang pabor na iyon ay nagdudulot ng hindi patas na bentaha, I don't know what that is, o espesyal na trato. Maaari rin itong pumukoy sa grupo ng magkaibigang sobrang lapit sa isa't isa. To make it short, dinodoro-turo nila o sino yung gusto nila na itagay nila sa gobyerno. And that's what's happening ngayon between Joey Oy and Benny Abante. So pag balikan ko, nag-a-attend sila ng authoritarian regime, ituturo nila ngayon kung sino lang yung gusto nila ilagay sa posisyon para kontrolado nila ang buong bansa. That is cronyism. And can you, let's mention the names of the Marcos senior cronies para malaman ng mga tao.
Jeremy, Arshalo, right?
Yeah. So, ito yung source sa Wikipedia. During the time of Marcos Sr., Juan Ponce Enrile, Antonio Florendo Sr., Eduardo Danding Cuonco Jr., Roberto Benedicto, Lusotar, Jeronimo Velasco, Roman Jun Cruz, Rodolfo Cuenca, Manuel Elizalde Jr., Ricardo Silverio. Ang dami niyan. Let's mention them all kasi para malaman kung mga nanonood baka nandun to sa mga lugar nila. Herminio Vicini, Peter Sabido, Enriquez and Panlilio families. Yun. So, yung ginagawa ni Marcos ngayon, yan, isa na yung Beni Abante na yan, at saka yung mga favored niya ng mga politicians sa pinapatakbo niya, yung mga Nogralises dito sa Davao na pagtakbo nila, yan yung gusto nilang ambisyon na maging crony sila ni Marcos Jr. Yun si Al-Ab, si Nograles, so belain dagat. Si Kuan, ang mga Garcia. So, kung ikaw, political dynasty ka or political family ka, you would want this because this will secure your political position sa lugar mo until the end of that authoritarian regime. So, itong mga dumitikit, like I said, the bootlickers, ngayon, sa Presidente at kay Romualdez, ito yung gusto nila mangyari, na sila yung mamuno sa mga lugar nila until for as long as they can, na walang kukontra sa kanila. So, ang magiging mangyari niyan, para kang monarkiya. Ang monarkiya, may hari ka, may reyna ka, then you have the dukes, the barons, yan, they control all the land, they control all, everything. Pero pinipili yan ng mga hari, ng hari noong panahon. So, that they're turning, this democratic republic into a monarchy. Okay? So, sana mapaisip niyo naman yan.
Correct. Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, since we've mentioned already Davao City, the renewed mandate given to us by Davaoenos Mayor. No? Before the last part with one cast Mayor, we just like to discuss all the key points you mentioned during the inaugural speech, Mayor, na marami nga ang natuwa when you mentioned this. For one, Mayor, itong strong start mo, as always, when it comes to criminality and peace and order. This has, the past 3 years, Mayor, we brought in 263 billion worth of investment. The tourism sector was very abundant also. All because, kaya sinasabi natin, because of the peace and order situation in the city. But ito ma, Mayor, ang tanong ngayon, the next 3 years, Torre is the chief PNP now, then we have a new PRO director, and then may bago pa ang DCPO na hindi dumaat sa atin. So I think that the owners are asking also, Mayor, what's the assurance on how are we going to sustain peace and order under these circumstances now here in the city?
Demo ko, si Torre lang man sabi na may 3-minute response siya. So, it's his responsibility na walang krimen na mangyayari dito sa Davao. Because it's the PNP's job to secure the city. And hindi naman ako pinapilit ng city director. So, I cannot give, I do not know if I can give, advice kung paano gagawin yung trabaho ng mga pulis dito. Because, first and foremost, I am the mayor, I'm a local here, I grew up here, I know this place. And I know the people here and I know how they behave. Pero pag itong city director na nilagay ni Torre, hindi makikinig sa akin, he will not cooperate, then it's up to them. Okay? So, sinabi naman ni Torre na may 3-minute response, sana ma-feel ng mga Davaoenyo. But, tingin ko, gagawin yan, harassment lang talaga. Doon ako, Mr. Torre, sanay na ako sa iyo. Sanay na kami sa iyo. Kinidnap ko nga yung tatay ko eh. Okay na yan. Just do whatever you want. You have 2 years until finding mo candidacy sa 2027. So, at saka may kaso ka na ngayon eh. Think about it. Gusto mo harasin ako, harasin mo lang ako. Kasi matapang ka lang naman, we have the position pero kung suntukan tayo, ararap ko makaya, bita. Ganun lang. But you're a coward. You are nothing without your position. Sa totoo lang. And nagmamatalinuhan ka lang, yan lang talaga ginagawa mo. May 3-minute response ka, may nakaabang na dyan. Nakita ka talaga ng media. kawawa ka naman sa totoo lang. Okay na yan. Yung 3-minute response mo, prove it. Prove it to the Davao News. So sabihin, kayo PNP. So sabihin nyo, hindi na safe ang Davao. So ano? Ako ba ang polis o kayo? Kung sa index, ang Davao City is third to Chiang Mai in Southeast Asia, why cannot you maintain that? If you cannot maintain that, that means you're not doing your job. That means the PNP is not doing their job. O nangyari yun, who is to blame? Ako o ikaw? Yung back to you mo, hindi ka na nga sumagot ko. Sarap talaga awayin. Totoo lang. May ano ka kalbayo mo sa ka, no? Oh, may ano ka na, may issue ka na doon eh. Iba yung ano mo, iba yung ambition mo sa buhay. You're not, I don't feel that you're here to serve and protect people. You are here to forward your ambitions. Particularly, ito kung sino ka man sa administration ni Ferdinand Marcos Sr., you are the general bear. If you do not know history, read it. It's there. It's available for all.
Sebat di pa nga.
Yawa.
Anyway, Mayor, just for the record and for para klaro sa lahat, you did not have a say kung sino ang next chief or director ng DCE.
No. They won't allow me to choose the city director. Nangyari na yan last year when I was mayor. The last term when I was mayor. In 2 days, they replaced 3 times. Aski the city director 3 times in 2 days. I do not know. Masyado silang paning because they're scared maybe, these policemen who were to be assigned there, baka loyalista sa amin and they would not, do dirty work for them. So I'm expecting harassment from your pangit nyo now. I really do think you're ugly. You know why? It's not because of your face. Filipinos are beautiful, brown skin, and a lot of foreigners, and the Caucasians especially, they like your color, but the kind of person that you are, you're really fucking ugly.
Nasalita sa some order. Another thing, Mayor Hana, no? Yung sa key areas.
Isang area naman, Mayor, is education sector. So you committed, Mayor, for your inaugural speech, that you would prioritize education, free scholarship. And it's also worth noting na Davao City has 93% in literacy rate. So that's very high. And you also mentioned, Mayor, that we will allocate a substantial amount to education.
Yes.
So, ano yung mga specific programs or partnerships that you have planned, Mayor, for your first?
Yes, yung sinabi ko sa inaugural speech, very straightforward, but we will continue to deliver basic services like food security, shelter, basic security. That's up to the PFP actually. What else? Education, and I always forget. Yung isa.
Digitalization.
Health, yes. And I want to add, it's something that's, it's just theoretical. Digitalization is already part of an LGU's, one of the it's basic already in terms of, for an LGU to deliver that to the people. So I consider that 6, but gusto ko na more prioritize talaga yung education because I think Davao City maganda yung takbo talaga. And marami tayong napag-graduate na professionals, doctors, engineers, and or lawyers. And I really want that for the people of Davao. Gusto ko na, ano lang ba? Gusto na ko nga gusto na may hanap buhay yung mga tao. Kung may bata dyan na mahusay talaga, yung nag-aaral, kailangan, if they want to get a better, mas paginawa na buhay because of their efforts in their academics, magkakaroon talaga sila ng degree mataas, Okay, so I am talking to the city council right now. Kaya kinakausap, I'm asking them to prioritize this. Kaya meron na tayo separation of powers, di ba? So they're the legislative. So that answers yung sinabi na undemocratic ano ko na tayo opposition. But still, I asked them kung i-prioritize ito because I want Davao City, and maybe if I make it to 80 years old, tumanda ako dito na makikita ko na very well educated ang mga Davaoenyo, and they're getting high earning jobs, employment, yun lahat. And I truly believe in the potential and competitiveness of Davaoenyos. So, yan, I want a significant increase pagdating sa budget sa education. And of course, more infrastructure para sa mga sa mga grade school, so elementary, high school, sa mga public schools na, so that the kids can learn more efficiently. Yeah, so para prepared sila to go into college. I think that is the strength of the Davaoenyos, because I think we are very highly opinionated people and very educated people. And we will keep that up because this will be our driving force in the years to come. The youth. And yeah. So that we build up more people to help build the city. I want everyone to participate. And yeah, through education, may laman yung utak ng mga taga Davao. You can be critical or open to that. We've always been open to criticism. Yeah, we need to hear from these young people. So gusto na ko. I want Davaoenyos to be idealistic. Do not ever, settle for mediocrity. Ayaw mo settle na alam mo diya, maulan na inyong kaya. Pagtuon mo, you study hard, the government will help you if you do your responsibility.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that's a very great news kit, Mayor. Kasi kaya na sinasabi nila, you can never go wrong when you invest in education. And for me personally, growing up or finishing my studies, Mayor, being a scholar also, very independent, also sa scholarship, it's good to know that we are investing more in this because there are really a lot of potential, no? And Harvard students here, the literacy rate, the number one in Davao region, 93%.
Ako mong gani kung nagtuon ng tarom na moyo ko unsa na kasanay depths. Tinga ko na nag-aral ng maayos ang mayor po. Ito pang mga bata na irado, di ba? They are going to be good lawyers, good doctors, and they could be politicians, and they could they do something for the city. We have a dream, and we should be together in this trip to uplift the lives of all Davaoenyos. So City Council padunggan ko ninyo, please make sure it is it is my suggestion. You deliberate on this and look into it, because I think this is crucial for the future of Davao City.
Mayor, one of the things you mentioned that you know, in the next 3 years, or as long as you are leading this city, you will not give Dabaweños a government that tolerates use for wrongdoings, Mayor. Would you like to expound on this part?
You know, wala man talaga. Like I always say, hindi man you cannot, hindi mo ma-perfect talaga yung governance pa. But as much as possible, you go hard on doing your responsibility, your job. So, ako, medyo minsan mastriktuhan kayo sa akin. Pero, I'm only doing this for you. Wala man ako magawa kung magalit kayo sa akin kasi yung kurapuran nyo itatop dyan kasi maingay. People cannot sleep, CPs cannot sleep, yung mga matatanda, hindi ko natulog. I'm not doing this to agitate you. I'm doing this to give, you know, a peaceful city for everybody. Tulad ng mga, like I mentioned, yung mga establishments na ayaw magbigay ng setback. So wala tayong pedestrian. Saan lalakat yung mga tao? I mean, you know, like, saying this over and over again, it's not. Kasi kung ako lang talaga, takot ako ng boto ng tao, I would allow all of you know, yung mga ginagawa nyo na that would please you. But I'm not here to please you. I'm here to govern. I'm here to do what is right. And I'm here to, you know, implement the law. Because hindi naman ginawa yung batas para sirain yung buhay ng tao. Well, pwede mo naman dahan yan, gano'n, and on. But, especially yung mga, especially yung the small things na that affects the lives of people, tulad ng mga land park ordinances natin, the speed limit, liquor ban, anti-smoking, all of which were implemented by Rodrigo Duterte and continued by my sister when she was mayor, and then sa akin din ngayon. And until now, we're trying to continue these things that could, you know, improve the lives of other Filipinos. The point of the poet is, yeah, I only want what's best for you. Kung stricto ka na sa buka, it really doesn't matter. I don't know boto ka kung dili mo gana ako gingon na. But I'm just telling you, it is what I'm doing is because I'm doing this because I love my city. I love our city, and I love the people. I love the Dabaweños. Gusto ko lang yung quality of life nyo better will only get better while I am here. Yan lang naman talaga yung ano ko. So I'm sorry if it's medyo may perting face talaga yung mga ganung bagay because we're not used to nga padlungon ta hana. But it's all for you. It's all for you. It's for your children, your grandchildren, and for the generations to come. So that someday, pag wala na ako sa politika, retired ko, you know, gusto lang ako pa makita. Gusto ko lang din makita na may nagawa ako at may na-contribute ako sa syudad natin. And, you know, maybe God will, siguro, or yung Diyos na lang yung makapagsakit if I did the right thing for them. But I will never compromise votes in exchange to do the right thing. Mo naman na. Di mo ganahan sa okay mo. Ganahan mo sa maayon. Padayon ta. And gusto ko, before we end this, gusto na ko, I want to tell lahat ng nanonood dito na please, kasi lagi sinasabi ni Papa pag nandun na pag bumibisit, nung pag-visit ko na is telling you to stop, and wag lang, kasi sayang man. I think we're on our way to, to, ano ba tawag dyan, na makamit natin yung mas magandang Pilipinas. Kasi, wag natin itigil yung tunay na pagpabago. Just have faith in yourselves that each and every one of us can improve and build a better country than what it is now. Dahan-dahan yan. It's a process. It's a process lang. Ang most important thing, do not tolerate traditional practices in government na yan yung sumisira talaga sa bansa natin. And pinag-usapan na natin ito since simula nitong podcast na ito. So, ang Pilipino is very capable. Kuan ba? Maabilidad na mga tao ang mga Pilipino. And I think we are good people. We are good people. We are honest. Let's just practice these things and really, give emphasis to values, especially within our families. Diyan magsisimula yan sa bahay. Respect for your parents, respect for the elderly, respect for sa ingisig kataw, respect for others, and do not tolerate wrongdoings, and go through processes. Hindi tayo lagi magmadali kasi para we should be organized, dapat lahat tayo. Pag tayo nagkaisa, may sistema tayo na lahat sinusunod natin, tapos walang napuuna ka. No, we should go hand in hand moving forward. Ganun talaga. It's not easy because we've been colonized. Tagal na, tapos medyo yung identity natin, otak-otak, because na colonize tayo ng Espanyol, may mga ibang tao dyan, ugali Espanyol, ugali Amerikano, Java, not so much, but still, Asian, yeah, you know what? We should find ourselves. We should find ourselves, our true identity as Filipinos. Not the Filipino na sinakop na pinangalat tayo sa King of Spain, not the Filipinos na inimpose ng Americans sa atin the culture, because we have our own culture. So, identity is very important. And again, let us all embrace each other because we are one and the same. We are Filipinos. Maayong gabi sa inyong tanan. Salamat kaayo sa suporta niyo sa tatay ko. He is being detained in the ICC. Maybe soon he will come out. Let's just pray. Let's pray for yung sumusuporta sa tatay ko. Let's pray for him. Let's pray for our country. And though I do not want to say this, let's pray for this current administration. Maybe, they will be enlightened and do things better.
Thank you very much, right? Ate Mayor Basa Duterte, as always, Mayor, for your time and for sharing your insights, Mayor, one of these days. So just before we end, may pasyon ka. Wala tayong kinasi-kasi, wala tayong conditions for this episode. Madaling handa sa pasyon kayo,
Nay, may question lang. Mga netizens would be your period, like, tuka muna.
Sarap.
Sarap, Mayor. Anong nagpa-shade to pa po?
Tanawa na niya, Awan, lipis na akong bugok. Upaw po. Ngabit na akong maupaw. Buot pasapotan na.
I do not know kung agree mo at trabaho mo.
Ano?
Hindi layo. Upang nakilgo, may mo niya. Ang ngayat mabuko upang mo. Bagay ba? Kalpo ako.
Mana mag-yes. Speechless. Bagay.
No, mas convenient. Mas dalitan. Pero, sa malaing niya, dos Koreano ka.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Before we end, maybe we have some greetings na Mayor, may gusto ang batiin for today's episode.
Siyempre, umboto yung kaato pa ba rin sa mga. Mato mo ko tayo, ipakarol. Ibigaw na rin ko sa mga. Masiudan ko sa mga. Masiudan ko niya, masikong hilak, kadamatan ako, usay, na mo ikaw kumadabuhan. Siyempre, umama, okay ra sama. Pangita, siguro lain diya. Kung wala na mas parpato, naman, na-detain man. Kung na manguyab ni mo, pa-screening lang sa kuha. Kung iksoon, si Olong, tinanggap kita ka, maayo rin kami iksoon sa buka. Ever since, abong iksoon ng babay, si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, hama kay ko sa imuwa, believe kay ko sa imuwa. I know you are a very hardworking individual, more than any of us nga naa diri sa Duterte nga pamilya. Ikaw ang pinareplayo. I think you will surpass our fathers. I'm sure of that. Just keep moving forward. Maayo kay I know you're a very caring person. Maayo ka sa mga tao. Pinangga ni mga tao. That's di ako believe sa imo. You always take time to na pausapin patsin nila at na tao. You do not neglect the people, especially those in need. So may God bless you. Kung bago ang igsoon na si Kitty di ay day magbilutan na kanang kuan na kanang puliswila og tarong unta ko na abogado ka kung ambisyon para limo. Kung mga anak yan lang sa mo pilata ko mo pagbilutan mo. Gusto na ko kuan i-mention si Baker sa siya Baker Bigger Aesthetic. Salamat sa NAD nga yung fast touch ko for tanaw na ko. Siya mo ba yung nanzipre? Sa crew, itong elections, kamong nadya karon. Salamat kasi yung tabang. Siyempre, gamundo tanang mga dabawen yung nito sa among pamalakad diri sa Tagpayat sa Davao. Manikabot ng gyapon ko kanrepisyo sa inyo Pero pasayloan lang po ninyo medyo magbiyahe ko gawas kay ako tanawon akong amahan gusto na ko makita kay ang kinabuhi din na tumatak nga niya tinoto na mayat siya yung nanana ba niya pero ito man siguro to na siya nga upaon sa git kay tuan na kita let's just hope makigawas na siya mga jig lang ta salamat kay sa inyo ang tanat kami nasasalig ninyo. Di ta mo pakyasot o pinuangan. Wala ko diri paraan ng mga butang unsa mo po. Tanaw, ginakalaban na ganit na putan na para sa inyo mo. Sa tura.
Thank you, Mayor. Ana, may gusto kong sumaka ni Kate.
Daghang salamat kong sa tanan. To the Davaoegas, thank you so much. To my family, thank you. Also like to thank my sponsors, Doc's Beauty Aesthetic and Wellness Clinic for my skin, the Bell Salon Davao for my hair, I have a Pearls Jewelry Shop for my jewelry, and Lux Beauty Wear Davao for my nails. Thank you so much.
Oh, may gusto lumaka. Thank you again, Ana. Thank you, Mayor. No? Then, gusto pala batiin na rin pamilya at batiin din natin, Mayor, kasi lumakat ng lahat ng supporters natin, lahat mga Pilipino patuloy nga lumalamat ng sasalita para sa mas magandang Pilipinas. Mayor, no? At lalong-lalo na sa ating mga babaeng OFW, maraming salamat po sa patuloy na pagtuto.
Let me mention ang mga OFW ay thank you, Gayo. I know you're very busy people ba and But still, you put the time, especially nung birthday kay Papa. Up until now, you're still doing demonstrations. Thank you very much. Alam ko, may mga parami yung pwedeng gawin sa buhay nyo dyan na nasa labas kayo. Pero pinapakaulin nyo pa rin yung suporta sa tatay ko. Alam po na pahal nyo siya. That's why, with all my heart, I love you also. I really love you. I'm always here for you. Lahat ng gagawin mo sa politika, kung saan man ako papunta, it will be for you. Not, aside from Ilog of it, because your name, Lulawa will use.